Coach, we'll just have you start off with your opening statement on this past week and then lead into the competition this weekend.
Well, I thought it was, I know coming away with a loss at Liberty, I still thought it was a productive week, just because, number one, we got the biggest and the longest trip out of the way. I think that'll be the hardest trip for any team in conference play. But also, those are games or those are trips that build character. They tell you a lot about, the things that you got to improve on, what you got to work on, your toughness and all those things. So, it was good for us. I would love to have come out of there with a sweep, but that game Saturday was really tough for a lot of reasons. I think the biggest reason, just the preparation, how long it takes to really get prepared to play Liberty. It's a different scouting report. A lot like playing Air Force, Princeton, Belmont, all those teams that play that way. So it's a totally different. There won't be anybody else that we play the rest of the year that we'll use that scouting report on. So, it was hard to get prepared for that game in such a short period of time, and I think it can also take a toll on your legs. And a little bit of the mental part too. So I was really proud of our guys. I thought we played really hard Saturday. We gave it everything we had. We just didn't have enough.
Just obviously first loss in Conference USA play, 7-game winning streak snapped. You talked about how this team would respond to adversity, facing it for the first time in league play. What have you seen from this team when they've been faced with adversity before, and how are you hoping they handle it moving forward, knowing what's at stake for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I think we dealt with a lot of adversity in the preseason. I know it's different now that it's conference, and it's also different now that it's coming off of a 7-game, winning streak. But we also were facing adversity when we had a 5-game losing streak and going to the University of New Mexico, who I think has only lost 1 game since ours. So, I think our guys have proven that they can handle, adverse situations and that they bounce back. They've been pretty resilient. Today will be a big day for us. We took off Sunday and we took off yesterday and tried to get them a little bit, their legs back underneath them. So today will be a big day to get back out and, to get some things kind of fixed up, tidied up that we need to work on going into this weekend or this week. And I expect them to bounce back again. I think we've proven to be a resilient group, and I think they know what it takes. They know the big picture. In all honesty, it would have been unbelievable to go 18-0. I've never done that before in my career. I've had some great teams, and 17-1, 16-2 is the best I've ever had as a conference team. So, I don't think anybody, no one's going to go undefeated because there's no one left undefeated. So, again, I think I said it after the UTEP game, season wasn't over after we won that game. There's a lot of basketball left to be played, and, I think, people get caught up. I know fans get caught up in, losing a game, but it's not the end of the world. I think you prepare your guys for that. You prepare them to understand that we're going to have to bounce back and be ready to play again, because we got 2 home games this week, but they're against 2 really good teams, and you can't take anything for granted. You can't take even for granted playing at home.
When you look at Kennesaw, what do you see from them?
Really talented, maybe the most talented team in our conference as far as ability. They got 2 guys that can really score the basketball, both of them averaging over 20 points a game, which is incredible. And good size, good strength, I think toughness. I think Coach Petway does a great job, and their team reflects him and his personality. I think he's a go-getter, and his team plays really, really hard. That reflects him and the job that he's done there in such a short period of time. They're good. They got a good team. And the other thing I think sticks out about them is they play on both sides of the ball. They really guard, defend, they fly around. They got a lot of length and athleticism, so they can switch things. And then one of the better rebounding teams I've seen. They really go and rebound the ball. They got 3 guys on their team that average over 6 rebounds a game. So, it'll be a battle. We're going to need everybody here in full force, and our guys are going to need to be locked in, have a great week of preparation, and get ready to play some defense.
Just coming back home for these next 2 games, you're in a 3-way tie for first right now with Middle and UTEP. I know every week in conference play is important, but just knowing it's early on and knowing what the circumstances are right now, just how vital is this week going to be for you guys?
I think every week will be vital, and you know that. I mean, I don't think you also can get caught up in like 3-way tie for first, and I think all you can do when you play in a really good league and you play as many games as we do at 18, I think all you can do is just prepare game by game, because I think you got to look at the big picture. Other people, and there's going to be more games that are going to be lost and dropped by everybody, and it's just a game at a time. Because I think if you really get carried away with looking too far ahead, first of all, you could drive yourself crazy, and second of all, I think you just drop games that you don't need to drop. And home games are precious. We have what do we got? 7 of those left, and we got to take them really, really serious and one game at a time. And because you need those. We all know how hard it is to win on the road. And we've already got 2 road wins, which is difficult to do, especially in this league. So, yeah, just having your fans and having that that enthusiasm to be here, and being able to sleep in your own bed. Guys can get back into a daily routine with class, starting back up today. Today will be their first day of class. We started last Wednesday, so being gone, we missed Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then yesterday was a holiday. So today's the first day of, class, and again, getting back into a daily routine. It's going to be an important trip for us, for sure.
You talked about earlier with you guys had to get some of those hardest trips out of the way, especially, and you talked about maybe how much of a toll maybe kind of took on you guys' legs and energy and things like that. Do you kind of see the same thing for other teams, when they have to come here and, trying to take advantage of maybe, other teams having to come here and play a pretty tough trip?
I think so, but this trip's not going to be that hard for people like that last trip was, because, you hop on a bus and you're 40 minutes between us and UTEP. But, it took us, we left the hotel at 6:30 a.m. on Friday morning and didn't get to Lynchburg, Virginia until 4:30 that day. So, you do the math on that. There's a big difference in going from Miami, Florida to Lynchburg, Virginia than there is from going from El Paso to Las Cruces. So, I don't think there's anything harder than that trip, for sure. What we have to do is us and UTEP have to make this trip hard for people, because I think of our style of play and the fact that hopefully we can try to, get after people and make this a pretty grueling trip. But as far as distance and travel and all of that, El Paso, I know you'll have to have a connecting flight, but man, there's not a lot of better airports I've ever been through than El Paso. We can get in and out of that thing in less than an hour, and it makes travel really easy and simple. And then you hop on a bus and, you're on the bus the whole trip. So, no, I think the Lynchburg and Miami trip is going to be, that's going to be difficult, and it'll be harder for us because we're the furthest away than anybody else is.
Down the stretch against FIU, what do you feel like are some things that you saw from your team that went right there at the end? And then maybe in the Liberty game, what are some things that you would like to see improved on going into these next 2 games?
Yeah, we just got to execute better. I didn't think, offensively we didn't execute very, very good the whole trip. I thought we were a little impatient. Defensively, I thought in both games we played well enough to win. Liberty, there were a few little things here and there that we got to get kind of tidied up before we play them again. But FIU, our defense was pretty stellar. I think we held them to like 35% and 50-something points. They had been averaging 70, 80 points a game. So, I thought our defense was fine in that game. We just didn't execute real well offensively. And, the other part of that is Christians played very well, and when you have guys that play very well, people start to key on them. And so when that happens, we've got to be even more efficient and better at running our actions and our plays and all those things in order to get everybody involved, and not not everybody involved in a sense of just more about our spacing, having better space. And in that way, Christian can also become a facilitator and a creator for others, because I know he's really improved in that area and he's a willing passer. But we got to get better spacing in order for us to, have more of a feel for that.
When you guys key on Christian like that, who on your team would you maybe like to see maybe try to step up a little bit more, or maybe try to play well when
Yeah, no, I think we have a team. I think we're 4 guys in double figures, so I think there's plenty of guys that are, can step up on any given night and take over or take up some slack. And even in that game, we still had pretty good scoring across the board. Deontay was really big in that game, made a big 3 to put us ahead with about 2-something to go, and then made a couple big plays down the stretch. In fact, I think right after that he got a steal and got fouled, made some free throws. So, yeah, I think, even on Saturday night, we got 8 from Emmanuel, 8 and 7 from Emmanuel. So, it's the beauty of our team is that we've had different people step up, different guy drive the bus. I think when you have that, then it makes you a harder team to defend and a harder team to scout.
What's just your message to the team, especially after that tough loss at Liberty? Just what was the message to you that you hope to carry this week?
Well, I ain't looking back on it. We didn't play our best basketball, and yet, with 5 minutes to go, it's a one-possession game. So I think that's should, even though they were disappointed and tired and a little bit of beat down, I still think, it tells us a lot about where we were at. We were right there. And, I think we just know that there's always things that you have to improve on throughout the season, but I think our guys know what those things are. And so really a message to us is just to keep doing what we've been doing. But we've also talked about getting better, just continuing to improve and get better as the season goes on. And we have a lot of room for improvement in a couple of areas right now. And just got to get to practice today and try to iron those things out.
Good.
Yeah, Zadi, just your takeaways from last week. Obviously, win against FIU, loss against Liberty. Just your thoughts on last week, Lloyd?
I think last week was great for us. I feel like we came off a great road win at FIU. And, even though we lost at Liberty, I feel like we learned a lot about ourselves. But I feel like last week was great because it was a great learning experience. It was our first real tough travel of the season, so, we had to overcome that. But I feel like it was a great experience, and it just tested our will to win on the road.
Coach Hooten talked about, you guys were riding a high this whole time. Obviously going to get faced with that adversity, knowing how long the season is. You guys hit with a little adversity right now. How have you responded to it in the past? And how do you think you guys will respond to it now, knowing what's at stake, considering you're in conference play now?
Definitely. Conference play is definitely magnified, and I think we'll respond to it in a great way. Like our coach, Sean Buchanan, has said, this is a little different for us. We came off a high of winning 7 in a row, and we just lost. So you got to come in with the mentality to work and the mentality to get better. Film doesn't lie, so it's always things that we can improve and get better upon. So we just look at the film and look at our mistakes and try to improve for the next game.
And that next game is against Kennesaw on Thursday. You guys are back home. Just what do you see from Kennesaw?
We haven't gone over Kennesaw yet, but Kennesaw is in Georgia, and I'm from Georgia, so I know a decent amount about their team. And very talented team, high-powered team, so definitely have to buckle down on our defense and make sure everything's in order because they're a very good team.
Down the stretch against FIU last week, what went right for you guys to kind of pull away there at the end and get a road win? And what do you feel like you guys could have improved on at the end against Liberty in order to beat them?
Versus FIU, in my honest opinion, what won us that game was our defense. In the last, I would say, 5 to 7 minutes, we really buckled down. It wasn't a high-scoring game or anything like that, but in the last 7 minutes, we buckled down and made the plays necessary to win. Cook made a big shot for us. Deontay made a big shot for us, as well as a big defensive play. So I would say FIU really came down to defense and just making plays when it mattered. Liberty, we made a couple of mistakes down the stretch, and we didn't execute as well as we needed to. But, those are all things that we can improve upon with it being early in the conference season, the conference schedule. So I look forward to us getting better with our execution on offense and look forward to us growing as a team.
So I saw you guys before you guys played FAU. The team post some pictures of you guys on the beach in Miami, just kind of hanging out, having fun and stuff like that. So just what'd you guys do, and just how did that go? Just
It was great. It was great. A lot different from Las Cruces as far as the weather. It was great. It was about 70 degrees out there. People walking around with no shirt on. It was great. We went to the beach to just stretch and get our bodies loose because we didn't practice until later on in that day. We didn't want to just be sitting around. So it was nice to see the scenery, the water, the sand, everybody outside having a good time moving their bodies. So we really just got loose at the beach. I think it was a great team bonding experience for us because a lot of people had never been to the beach with their team, or some people have never even been to Miami. That's a lot of our teammates' first time being to Miami. So I think it was a great bonding experience that we'll never forget as a team.
You guys do anything fun on the beach? That maybe or did you guys go to just stretch and get your bodies loose?
Oh no, we just stretched and got our bodies loose. We walked around for probably 10 minutes and then we had to leave.
Yeah.
Just obviously in the early phase of conference play, three-way tie for first. I think Kennesaw and Jack State are probably right behind you guys in the standings, or you three teams. Just can you talk to me about handling, I guess, I don't know if there's nerves or just the intensity, knowing what's at stake this early on in this early stage of conference play?
Honestly, yeah, this is a very, very important week for us. But if I'm being honest, I would say every week is important because any game you can win or you can lose. So it's you can't look at the rankings or you can't look at standings because every team in Conference USA has a chance to beat you, no matter what their record is or no matter where they are in the standings. But like you said, with Jack State and Kennesaw being right below us in the standings, I think this is a very important game for us to kind of set the tone and get us back on the right track.
You've been seeing the crowds kind of increase here at the Pan Am when you guys come for your home games. You guys get 2 here at home. Just how important are these next 2 home games? Because after these 2 home, then you get UTEP coming to your house the next time you guys are going to be at home. Just how important is it just to get these 2 home game wins?
I think these home game wins are very important. I think they'll set the tone back for us. What many people don't realize, we went on that 7-game stretch. 5 of those were at home. So it's the crowd at home really gets behind us and really supports us. And I think that gives us the little extra boost we need to pull off a W. With UTEP coming in, I know that game will be packed for sure. So I think we need to have a lot of momentum coming into that game. With these 2 home games coming up, hopefully we can win those and then go steal a couple on the road. And by the time UTEP comes, the crowd will be behind us. So definitely looking forward to it.
What do you think needs to happen, or maybe from you guys' perspective, or maybe just from a university's perspective, to maybe try to get more fans into the building and fill more of the seats in a building that can sit 5 figures?
I'm gonna be honest. I think we were on the right track with it. My answer is winning. A lot of people will come if you're winning, and that's been kind of my philosophy behind it. Everybody wants to see a winner. So the more we win, the more people hear about us, the more people in the community will want to come to the games and see what's going on in the Pan Am. So I would just say continuing to win and, just being good people around the school, around the university. If we're just to ourselves and don't talk to students and don't interact, then of course they're not going to come out. But if they feel like they know us and have a connection with us, they'll come out and support us. So I would say winning and just being involved in the community and the school.
Thank you.